when you're playing these characters now, you're in these battlegrounds, and it's not just a map. Each of these maps has its own sort of shtick with it, right? It's its own huge role. So when you're in like Cursed Hollow, you know, as Arthas and Kerrigan, and you're fighting over tributes for this mysterious Raven Lord, and he'll drop these sort of skull fetishes on the ground, and you collect 3 of those, and it curses the enemy side, so where all their buildings are at half hit points and all their minions are down to 1 hit point, and you just blaze through them, and you know the Raven Lord's in the background, ha ha ha, fight for me, you know, like. And then the next map, completely different. You're on the docks in Blackheart's Bay, and you're sitting there collecting money for this ruthless ghost pirate captain, Blackheart. You're giving him coins, and he's like, "All right, mates, let's show him what we got." And he starts bombing the enemy town with, you know, these ghostly cannonballs. And it's like every map has its own sort of feel, very similar to like the battlegrounds, like in WoW. You know, they have very different things. Heroes is the same way, where, you know, we have 4 maps out on the floor today. Each one has its own cool, unique mechanic. And I'm kind of hard pressed to say which one would be my favorite, just because it's so nice to jump to something new after a few maps instead of just doing the same thing. You know, like having these 4 battlegrounds it's just super fun.
What separates Heroes of the Storm from other MOBAs like League of Legends and Hunt?
Well, the first thing for sure is the history that you have with these characters. In the other games, I don't know if there's any history with the characters. In this game, you know Arthas. People who have played him from, you know, all the way from Warcraft 3 know that he was a good guy, then he was a bad guy, and he brought all sorts of ruin to the world, right? People who play Kerrigan, they kind of know how she started off as a ghost. Then she was left behind, and then she was the Queen of Blades, and then her and Jim Raynor have this, like, do they love each other? Oh, all this history, and you get to play as them. Now, you know, some of the people who played War 3, they've played Arthas, but a lot of guys never heard of him until they started playing World of Warcraft. Same with Raynor and Kerrigan. They didn't play the OG StarCraft. They played, you know, Wings of Liberty, stuff like that. So we're allowing them to play these heroes as opposed to, you know, just fighting against them or seeing them off at a distance. Like, you control them. You're doing everything that, you know, you want, and it's the main point of the game, you know, playing these heroes that you've kind of grown up with us on over the years. And then the next thing we talked about a little bit is the battlegrounds. I mean, that's completely different from anything out there, in my opinion. And being able to play these different heroes that you've known and loved. And what's fun is, like, there's certain heroes that have a history together. We have little sound bites when like, say Arthas kills Uther, he'll say something. If you don't know the lore, you might, what are you talking about? Where, you know, maybe Jim Raynor and Kerrigan, they have like a little exchange of words. So it has a lot of the style of Blizzard games. Super fun games, super easy to get into, and it also has that little Blizzard humor that we're kind of known for, you know, making fun of ourselves, you know. So it has a lot of the traditional characters. It's got a lot of lore behind it. It's got these super unique battlegrounds, and then it also has that kind of random humor element thrown in. So where when you do something, and then did he just say what I think he said? You know, it's like it's super fun. Like that's like the main thing is it's just a blast to play.